Hi, it's Lee, and welcome to the Tesla Economist. Transition the world to renewable energy to rescue us from climate change, and as soon as possible. This is the implied objective of Tesla. It's urgent, or else soon the world will be underwater, thus justifying Tesla as the most important company on the planet, and by association, Elon Musk as the most important person, which is why he should be in charge of saving consciousness, transportation, energy, and the media. I mean, what could go wrong? Well then, if that's the case, we need to get as many EVs out there as possible, and as fast as possible, and to replace the most polluting vehicles. Which is why Tesla has launched the Cybertruck, a pickup truck for rich, eccentric EV owners. It's all in line with the mission, right? On the other hand, perhaps Tesla is just a company that makes a vehicle with a niche propellant and aims to make as much profit as possible. So what happened? Tesla made bad assumptions about demand of their vehicles. Don't get me wrong, the Model Y sales are obviously amazing, but not as high as Tesla had forecast, hence why they have two enormous factories only running at 1/3 capacity. Sure, blame the economy as much as you like, it's a fantastic scapegoat, except other auto OEMs aren't suffering as much, hence why half of all of Tesla investors actually blame Twitter for the current stock price. So what do I mean by suffering? Well, dropping car prices by an insane amount in addition to tax credits. So the operating margins are nearly half what they once were, in order to meet the market clearing price at current supply of Teslas. If Tesla did in fact increase capacity of those two factories to 100%, then prices would have to be dropped by so much in order to meet demand that I think there would be very little profit around, and probably a loss without the tax credits. There are also many alternatives to a Tesla. Yes, these alternatives are not as good value, and none of them are scalable yet to the level we have seen Tesla. But scalability is only necessary if there is enough demand, and if the market is actually large enough, which so far it doesn't appear to be. Sure, it felt like EVs were the future. I genuinely think they are a superior vehicle to drive, the one downside being slightly heavier than ICE. Sure, the charging infrastructure can be a hassle, but it rarely ever is for me, and I went all in on Teslas and sold all my ICE. I also believe a Tesla is the best value vehicle on the market, offering more vehicle per dollar than anything else. But these are my opinions, and as I am sure the vast majority of you also share the same opinion, however, it would appear that the majority of car buyers still do not. They're still spending higher amounts of money on inferior vehicles. I thought EVs should be a premium price. But currently, the market is giving ICE a premium over EVs. Is that true? Well, just look at what you get for a Toyota RAV4 for the same price of a Model Y. I do not understand this. This was a mistake I made, and many others out there. It still doesn't make sense, but I was wrong and can admit it. This is also the reason that so much of the community out there want to push for advertising, to make said consumers aware that they could be getting more car for the money. Is it possible that most of the people who want an electric car and have a place to charge them at home have them now? And having to significantly drop prices is the way to get more buyers? But Tesla need the infrastructure too. The charging network hasn't made close to the progress that Elon said it would, which we can add to the list of disappointments that Elon has promised and not delivered. Anyway, the main issue with those two factories is actually supply anyway. The biggest thing on the list of Elon disappointments is the 4680 cells. Well, FSD perhaps, if you ever believed that was going to be ready when Elon said 6 years ago. So cell and battery constraints is essentially what we're talking about. An issue I mention continually, yet people seem to think that if there is demand, then they'll just get made. Tesla do, however, have some production rate of the 4680 cells. It's not nothing. Of course, nothing to make any impact in any way yet, as in increase production noticeably, or change the world to renewable. In fact, we don't even have a dry battery electrode in the cathode yet. But the fanboys will tell you to be patient. It's fine, we're at about 3% of the target by this stage. It just takes time. Why did you believe Elon in the first place anyway? It's strange how you get told how stupid you are for believing Elon when things don't go as he said, but then you have to still believe what he's saying now. Anyway, Tesla have a crappy production rate for 4680s, no denying that. And yes, you can use all sorts of arbitrary numbers to make the ramp look as exponential as you want, but you can also use the same numbers and make it look quite flat too. Depends on whether you're a bull or a bear. You can use statistics to lie and give confirmation bias. But it's okay, because Elon has also assured us that the Cybertruck ramp will be very slow. Why? I don't know. If I recall, the main point of the Cybertruck's radical design was because it makes it easier to manufacture. Ford managed to ramp up their F-150 Lightning using traditional shapes and designs, and they're far less experienced with EV manufacturing. They don't even have a gigapress. I mean, hands down, Tesla is absolutely miles ahead of everyone else when it comes to manufacturing EVs. So why should the Cybertruck ramp be so slow? This is the first vehicle Tesla have made that has been first principles designed around EV manufacturing and gigapresses, and have learned so much since mass producing the 3Y. I honestly don't know why the Cybertruck should ramp so slow. And with volume production just about getting pushed back half a year every time Elon has an earnings call. Anyway, what I'm getting at is the plus side is that there will be enough 4680 cells for the Cybertruck as a result. And Tesla only need enough to keep up with Cybertruck production until Panasonic's 4680s kick in mid next year. So far, Panasonic still plan on making 4680s, so the Cybertruck should not be battery constrained. Also, perhaps we're talking about 200,000 units a year, so that's not even that many relative to the Model Y, so there should be enough battery supply. There are many in the community who also say that there will be over 1 million Cybertrucks a year. It will be the best-selling pickup truck in the US. Now, if the Model 3 or Model Y are anything to go by, then the Cybertruck probably would be about that successful. But where are they going to be built? Are Tesla really going to double down on Cybertruck, build more factories? It doesn't sound like it's actually the easiest thing to build. Some people still think the Cybertruck is a joke that has now gone way too far. Tesla have Gen 3 now anyway, that supposedly costs half as much. Cybertruck production appears to be slow, has hardly any impact on renewable transport, so it doesn't make sense to double down on, especially if Tesla truly believe in robotaxi possibility, not to mention keeping a very profitable market clearing price. To put it succinctly, Cybertruck is the most profit per kilowatt hour Tesla can derive from a 4680 cell. Well, at least until the Roadster actually enters proper production, which will be, good question, perhaps 3 to 5 years? Yeah, plenty of other products that have still not come to light when it comes to Tesla. But the Cybertruck will no longer be one of them. It's actually going to be launched. We're even seeing them in showrooms. And from the ones I've seen, the build quality actually looks exceptional. And as Elon says, because of the stainless steel, any imperfections will show up that much more, which means Tesla have had to work that much harder when it comes to manufacturing for it. It is indeed impressive, but resulting in a negligible impact on combating climate change, which is why I think Tesla is a company that you value by its actions more than its words. The Cybertruck is an astounding vehicle, and too good to be true, or even legal, yet it looks like it's about to happen, and soon the actual specs will be revealed, or at least many of them. I doubt that we'll get told the battery size of them though. Once launched, the market might think that if Tesla can eventually launch a Cybertruck, they can eventually launch a semi-truck, roadster, high-volume production of 4680 cells, and solve FSD. A lot of the stock price revolves around sentiment of these coming to fruition, as they're worth trillions. Anyway, as the Cybertruck is the most profit per 4680 cell or high energy dense cells, then that is where to allocate them. We've never been told that 4680s will be used in Gen 3, only that they are able to use a variety of form factors, including LFP. Then that is why Tesla can make the Cybertruck and delay any mass production of affordable EV, as there are not enough cells for them yet. It's not long now until the official launch, and we finally get to know what this vehicle is truly capable of. Supposedly there'll be 3 demonstrations too, one of them being the Tommy gun unloaded into it, but the other 2 are still a secret. But potentially one of them might be demonstrating how the Cybertruck can travel across water, which would likely blow people's minds. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.